Welcome back to Down Under the Crossbar podcast, episode 4, Arsenal from an Aussie angle. I'm Brendan Bradford, joined as always by Steve Peios. Mate, it's been all sunshine and roses until now. We'd be probably kidding ourselves if we didn't think we'd be talking about an Arsenal loss, 1-0 to Liverpool overnight. Steve, mate, how are you? How's your weekend? We'll get into the game, but how are you going, my friend?
BB, great to see you, mate. The weekend was absolutely perfect until about 3:14 this morning when Arsenal got beat and the referee blew the whistle on what was a really disappointing night. But yeah, lovely weekend, mate. Really good. Weather's starting to improve and had some good stuff with the kids' sport as usual and a bit of time at home and that sort of thing. So no complaints, mate. What about yourself? Busy at the Sydney Marathon, I see there, mate. Doing some wonderful
Yeah,
things.
mate. Oh, what a day. Like my day started so well. It
Yeah.
was two early starts in a row, but I was out covering the marathon yesterday. Elliot Kipchoge running through Sydney. Course record smash. Stefan Hassan in the women's race beat the record by about 3 minutes 40. She's an absolute freak. It's just a real cool day out in Sydney yesterday. And then I came home, got an early night, woke up at 1:15. All positive, let's go. And Steve, you said it as soon as you woke up and saw the confirmed starting side. I think your hopes and my hopes sort of sunk a little bit. Just even seeing the side, what was your first impressions?
Yeah, that's right, BB. It was a real tough one for me when I woke up, and the first thing I do when I sort of get up for games in the middle of the night is always check the team sheet, like see, okay, who's playing tonight? What are we looking to set out? And it's funny, there were lots of questions floating around our sort of Arsenal chats. Oh, excuse me. There were lots of questions floating around, all of the Arsenal chats throughout the day about who was going to play, who was going to start, what the team lineup was going to look like. And for me, like the big question was Eze going to start? And I came through and said, yes, he should. Absolutely. He's played Liverpool, a couple of times, in the last few months. He's basically fit and ready to go. He's looked pretty good. He's been a part of, a couple of trophies for Palace in the last 3 months. So in my mind, I thought if he's going to play, that'll be positive. We might see like a Wanyeri to replace Erdegaard or something like that as well. But there's no way that he can not, have someone in over Martinelli again. So when I saw that lineup, BB, I just thought, right, the back four we know is so solid. The middle three, the keeper, I've just thought he's just sitting out here for a draw. Or he's sitting out here to be really solid. Maybe there's a plan to get a few of the boys on, with 20, 25 minutes to go and really attack. But there's this, unfortunately for me, mate, there's just more questions than answers now after this result. Now, yes, it was a worldie that won the game. Yes, had it have finished 0-0, we probably would be having a different conversation today. But at the end of the day, we didn't. We lost. Liverpool have a 3-point jump on us, and they've been terrible so far this season. I'm proud to say for Liverpool fans that you should be really happy. You're 9 points. You're 2 points clear at the top of the table. You've been terrible to this point, but you're winning games, and that's what all that matters. And for us, I'm just really, really upset in the mentality. I feel like it's just Arteta still has this handbrake. I mean, we were 21 or 22 games undefeated against the top six going into this game. And what's happened is we've gone into the match very, very strong in the back end of the first half to the point where, apart from a clear sighting on goal, we were in a very strong position. But second half was give or take 50-50 for the first 20 minutes. And then when we've made the changes, we haven't allowed enough time or what looked like the actual change in mentality because we managed to show it, BB, after we conceded the goal. So for the
Yeah,
10 minutes after that, leading into injury time, all of a sudden we're playing a few passes. All of a sudden Eze's through 1-on-1. And Arteta comes out and roasts him after the game and goes, we just need to finish our chances. Eze had a 1-on-1. The guy's been here for 5 minutes. You play him off the bench today, even though he's fit and raring to go and raring to start. And then what's happened is that he misses a chance and you don't say anything. Martinelli was absolutely useless all game. I'm sorry to say it, but it's just he's just not up to the level anymore. He's had 6 good years with the club. He scored a brilliant solo goal at Chelsea years ago, and he's had some good moments. Gyökeres was quiet again tonight. He's a great number 9 by all accounts, but again, in the 2 away games so far, we're not playing to his strengths whatsoever. We're not feeding him the ball to his feet in the middle of the park. We're sending him out wide where, look, he's not the best out wide, sort of getting the ball and then cutting back in the Premier League. And then outside of that, Rice was quiet again. I thought Zubimendi was busy and he's okay. But I thought Rice was quiet again. He seems to be struggling with a lack of purpose and role now. Like, what is my role now? Because the handbrake's been on him his first 2 years with the formation. And now it's set up in a point where it's like, well, you got Zubimendi now, but it's still, the mentality's not there to go out and just attack teams. So, I mean, there's a million things to unpack here, BB, but, huge amount of disappointment for me. I want to give big credit to Liverpool, though, that they're getting it done at the moment. They're not playing overly well. I thought Garnacho had a good game. I thought Van Dijk was very, very solid, but Kirk has had a much better game than what he started so far this season. So Bosley, what can you say? He's filled in at right back from midfield and had a man of the match performance. So credit to Liverpool. They definitely deserve it. But for me, mate, Arteta is to blame. Arteta is to blame. You just cannot go into these games with the wrong mentality. So that's sort of my thoughts in a nutshell, mate. But I'd love to hear what you think. Please indulge us on your views on the game and everything that we saw last night.
Yeah, my mindset completely wrong from the beginning. And here's what I think has gone down in the past 7 days or 6 days. What I think is that Saka's gone down injured, Odegaard's injured, not 100% obviously. You're going up to Anfield, a place that's so tough to go. I think he's gone up already sort of feeling like he's on the back foot, feeling a little bit defensive. Obviously, the team sheet comes out. Think, okay, here we go. We're sitting in for a 0-0. And then Saliba goes down after 2 minutes. I don't know what happened there.
Well,
and
apparently,
I think that just set him back again.
I'll quickly interject there. Apparently, he rolled his ankle in the warm-up. And then the idea is that basically we'll go on and see, like, now that you're warm, see if you can carry on. And then in the first sort of sign of a tough challenge, that I can't remember who it was with, but the first sign of a little bit of a scuffle, the ankle's gone, and Mosquera was apparently ready to come on, and he looked it. To be fair, he looked really good. Yeah. Keep going, sorry, mate.
But just the fact that Saliba goes down, and I think just the defensive mindset just probably set in for Arteta. I'm not excusing him; it's not a great thing at all. Like you want to show a little bit of mongrel, a little bit of fight, but I think just all these things compounding. Again, Mosquera came out. I thought he did a bloody good job. I thought he was really good. You're spot on with Declan Rice. Like, what is he? He occasionally gets the ball like on the edge of his own 18-yard box. He's trying to attack. He's trying to look up. He looks in two minds about what he is, what he wants to do, where he's supposed to play. I don't know if that's instinct or if he's getting mixed messages or if there are messages at all. Don't know what's going there. Something needs to be done there because like we say, Odegaard didn't come on till late. Saka's out. A lot of the responsibility is going on his shoulders now. Martinelli completely absent. May as well not have been there. He's wasted. It's a waste. Especially with Saka out, Madueke going over to the right. Great. I thought Madueke was good on the left last week. Seen a few people saying that he struggled. He didn't look great. I thought him and Calafiori linked up pretty well there last week. There was absolutely no connection between Calafiori and Martinelli overnight. Gyökeres, the most frustrating performance of his short Arsenal career so far. It took him it was something like 30-something minutes to have a pass, to get to record a pass. There's plenty of times where he's looking to make a run. Guys, they're not gelling yet. They don't know where the run's going to come. They don't know which pass, which lane, all that kind of stuff. And that's just time, but a couple of really frustrating performances there. Madueke, one of the shining lights. I thought almost everything Arsenal created until the changes in the last sort of 10 minutes, almost everything was through him. I've got to talk about the free kick. Zubimendi he's still got work to win me over. You and I have spoken about it off camera. It takes too much time on the ball. He made one really good ball, through ball to Madueke, but he just spends too much time on the ball. A throw over from his days of Spain. He's got to be a lot faster, a lot more decisive. He gave away the free kick. And it wasn't just him. Two players behind him and Rice. Van Dijk just passes the ball through. It was a challenge that didn't need to be made. We're back four there, ready. Yes, okay, there was a bit of space, but it was not. There was no reason to dive in and make that challenge from Zubimendi. And then Szoboszlai, I mean, what a free kick, what a world class goal. But what are your thoughts on the free kick and on Zubimendi? I know I'm probably a little bit harsher on him than you are.
No, I think you're right, BB. When it comes to the free kick, it reminded me of Declan Rice last year against Real Madrid. It was just the type of goal which really breaks a game apart at a time where things were a little patchy. I mean, I thought we were far better than Real Madrid last year at that time. But just to put it in context here, this one was quite close and it needed that worldly moment to actually get the job done. So beautiful free kick. I can't knock you there at all. What you're saying, it was a moment of magic to settle the game. I thought, look, I don't disagree with you when it comes to Zubamendi. He's definitely got work to do, and there's definitely change that has to happen in terms of the way that middle of the park structures and gels together. But I mean, he's tidy for sure. He's tidy for sure. He can get the ball, he can move it around, he can pass the ball. We saw in tight situations with his face to goal yesterday. Raya was playing some crazy stuff again yesterday. I mean, I don't know how. I just don't know how much that is intertwined in our training sessions, in our play. But you could see Raya just hitting Mosquera, hitting Gabriel, hitting Zubamendi Rice at these angles, and he made a big mistake there. He passed the ball straight to Virgil, and I remember the commentator saying, "Oh, it looks like Gyökeres, he didn't want the ball." It's like, mate, it was Zubamendi. Like he's sort of gone to get the ball and then stopped. So yeah, that was one on him. That wasn't fair. But I know we were talking offline about the fact that I think he's still got to get to speed with the Premier League, and that part I absolutely agree with. I still think getting to speed in the Premier League not only counts for him, but it's going to count for everybody that's come. The one player that did look like he was up to speed in the Premier League was Mosquera. He looked absolutely outstanding, and that's one you have to have a big positive for. I mean, I don't think Saliba will be out for long by the sounds of things. It's just a rolled ankle, but at the same time, if Mosquera is the one who's going to be our stand-in centre half at right back, he's going to be magic. Back to your points before about the overlapping, I thought you're spot on there in that Madueke looked like he actually worked with the left back last time around. Martinelli is just shot. He's just absolutely he's a shot duck at the moment. On the right-hand side, you had Madueke move back over there with Timber. I think Timber, BB, is a fantastic defensive player. I just don't think he has the chemistry moving forward. And that's where we miss Ben White. If you remember at Old Trafford 2 weeks ago, Ben White started the season for us at right back, and he's been very successful there for us over the last 3 years. And Ben White has now gone down injured again, sadly. And because of that, Ben White has we've lost that creativity of the guy who can overlap. He's got a great partnership with Saka, yes, but they've got this ability to overlap and really create space and create chances. And I thought Madueke had his moments. There was one in the second half where I wouldn't say he skinned Kirkes, but he was definitely in and around on the right-hand side. Couldn't cross it in time. There was one that was crossed. I'm not sure if it was him, and Gyökeres was nearly there, but it was heaved away by, I think, Gomez when Gomez came off the bench. So it's a struggle for me. I just think the big questions have to be asked about how things are fixed going forward, where that chemistry comes from, and if he's going to release the handbrake, because it's getting, look, I hate to say it, I love my team, but it's getting boring now. It's just getting, I don't mind boring if you're winning 1 or 2-0 and you're comfortable, but I don't like boring when you're not creating anything and when you're going with a negative mindset. And that for me is the real struggle. So how he fixes that, I don't know. That's why he's paid £10 million a year or whatever the hell he is, and I'm paid, 3 bob, but that's just how it works. So I hope that he's able to sort that out. But that's my real struggle, mate, is I don't know how that's fixed. And I'm not sure what happens, mate. But what do you think moving forward in terms of team lineups? Because I just felt like there was an inevitability that if Ødegaard was fit, he would come off the bench. I thought he hasn't trained all week. Give Ranieri a go. Like, where's the big clamour to get Ranieri re-signed? And we're playing Dowen every week over him. Not to say Dowen's not a great player, but where's Ranieri? Where's some of these other younger players? Because I thought that he would have been potentially really good at unlocking things for us last night.
Well, I think part of it as well, I think, is probably just he still doesn't know. Like, right, you've had all these, made some really good big signings, big name signings. How does the jigsaw fit together? There's probably a part of that, and I think that's just things that need to fall into place over time. As we go ahead, I don't know. Yeah, but it's just frustrating. Just frustrating the approach, the mindset that was there yesterday. If you want to go and win, you got to go and win the title. Like, you can't sort of these days, defend your way and just play like that on the way to a title. We saw Liverpool last year. And over the last couple of years, they score, they go out there. It's end-to-end stuff at times, but it feels like that's the way to win. Yes, you're going to have as a 0-all or 1-0 from time to time, but that can't be the norm. I think you got to go out and try and win games. And I think just the mindset more than anything. Like if we'd gone out and thrown everything at it, if Ez had started and you lose 1-0 or 2-0, but you'd gone at it, okay, it's a loss, but I could have handled that a little bit better. To go out there to play like that and then to make the changes. Isaak came on 10, 15 minutes to go, and he looked good, like exactly what you bought him. A beautiful one-touch turn right on the touchline. Got 1-on-1. Maybe could have shot. I think he was looking for the penalty. But yeah, just the mindset. And yeah, so what do you think? What do you think needs to happen over the next 2 weeks? We got the international break. What do you want to see in a couple of weeks?
So first and foremost, BB, it has to be squad finalisation. I mean, that's the big one now. Let's not even harp on this, how much, you've spoken about the transfer window still being open, being a disgrace. It is what it is. But look, it looks like we're going to sanction Nelson overnight, gone. Vieira will be gone. Zinchenko potentially gone. We've seen Kivior go to Porto. I think for the most part, we've upgraded the squad nicely. Hincape's on his way in. We spoke about that last week. But what I really need to see, though, mate, is just attacking intent and a concept of actually, if you're going to play this 4-3-3 formation, it needs to be, you've got a solid back seven, play four guys up top that can actually go ahead and win you games. And if I could say respectfully again, if the offer is there for Martinelli to be sold in the next day or two for a big money move to Saudi for 75 million, you have to take it. What he also needs to do, BB, is he needs to have gumption in his own self to go that if your players aren't performing, they're gone or they're dropped. You just signed you've just re-signed Trossard to a new contract extension. It was not even an extension; it's just a higher money thing for the 2 years remaining. Didn't even get a look in last night. You got Martinelli, who's underperforming. He's got to go. And in my mind, again, respectfully to the club captain, Martin Odegaard, he's been off the ball for a year. He looked okay last night, but still a lot of sideways passing. If he's not up to it, play Eze, play Madueke, play Saka, play Gyökeres, and play a whole different front four. I think we'll be in a better position for squad rotation once we're back from the break because, for the first couple of months after international breaks, if you're still in the League Cup and with your Champions League as well, you're playing 7 games in 3 weeks, then 7 games in 3 weeks, and then you sort of get into the Christmas period after that with a full suite of games as well. So he'll have the ability to start seeing how the team gels together, how different players play when they come in. But there's just got to be a mentality change and a mindset change. And the big one for me was watching this morning the Gary Neville podcast after they finished the broadcast at Anfield for Sky Sports. I won't go into complete amount of detail, but what he said is that eventually you can talk about 22 unbeaten against the Big Six and all this type of stuff. Eventually, you have to go to places like Liverpool and win. You have to go out with the right team and right mentality and win. And today was a day where it was there to be taken, even though we missed Saka, missed Odegaard, missed Havertz and a few others. They were there to be beaten today. You need to go to the Etihad and you need to win the game. We've got a bad record at Everton. You would have seen last night. Tedder's won there once in 5 in the last 5 years. We've got a bad record at a lot of these grounds. You've got to go there and win. And this year we've come away with a loss. The conversation today is probably a bit different if we had drawn 0-0, but we didn't. We've lost. A crappy Liverpool team who aren't even playing well at the moment are basically 3 points clear of us. They're 6 points clear of Man City already after 3 games. Yeah. And unfortunately for us, if we had have drawn, we're level pegging with them, which means if we beat them in the return, there's a 3-point gap on them. But now we have to beat them in the return, and that's purely just to make up what they've made up on us. So extremely disappointing. I think it was come at a bad time too with the break. It's not like we've got a midweek Champions League game now to get through and sort of feel better about it. So there's got to be a change to the attacking side of things. He's recruited well. We need to get out there, mate, and that's what I think.
Yeah, and like you say, it's you got nothing else. You're sitting on this for 2 weeks. The sour taste is going to last for 2 weeks. You're just boiling over it and thinking about it. Let's move on. You mentioned a few transfers. It's been a busy couple of days. We've had Garnacho, Simmons coming to the Premier League. One of the great players to watch in world football. There's rumours and talk of Edison. Rasmus Højlund's gone. Donnarumma maybe to Man City. I'll pass it over to you. The floor is yours. What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
All right, BB. Here we go. the transfer window comes to a close by about this time tomorrow. We're recording at sort of 10 a.m. and this will be up for all of our viewers pretty soon. Everything will be done and everything will be locked away. The two biggest moves to happen right now in the window all revolve around Liverpool, and that is Alexander Isak and Mark Gahey. Mark Gahey looks like he's happy either way, but Palace will be silly if they don't sanction the £40 million sale for him now. Noting that Liverpool are happy to pay it. Personal terms aren't a problem either. And for them, they get money on a guy that will leave on a free next year. And I tell you what, Konate was great last night. So if you got Gahey coming in as support for Van Dijk as the sort of backup or as the alternate starter in European games and Premier League, what a great signing. Isak looks like it's coming towards a conclusion. It seems to me that Newcastle's ownership have worked out that Isak just isn't going to play anymore. I don't like the way he's gone about it, this whole downing tools thing. I mean, if everybody just down tools, no work would get done anywhere. So I think it's a bit of a not a masterstroke from his agent. They've got the move that they wanted, but they've gone about it really poorly. So that looks like it's going to happen, BB. I still think the fee will be a sticking point. If anything doesn't get it over the line, it'll be the fact that Newcastle don't get what they want, which is up around the 130 to 150. And I just don't think Liverpool want to pay that. But it could be something like 120, 125 plus add-on, so I can see that getting done. You just mentioned Donnarumma to Man City. I can see that happening, but they've got way bigger problems than that at the moment. They've just lost Cherki for 2 months, one of their new signings. Haaland looks good, but outside of that, they look disjointed and really troublesome at the back, Man City. Edison's now looking like he might go to Fenerbahce instead of going to Galatasaray, but that needs to happen before Donnarumma actually makes the move. Man United look like they're going to be in for now either Senny Lemons, who we talked about last week, but it could be Dibu Martinez. We saw Emiliano Martinez not playing the game for Aston Villa today, and I tell you what, they were trounced by Crystal Palace at home. I think Emery could be in a bit of trouble, over the next couple of months if his results don't continue to perk up and things don't go his way, because they were really, really poor. So that'll be a big one as well. We've just seen Adrien Rabiot move to AC Milan, not Premier League centric, that one there, but that's a good one. Marco Asensio's gone to Fenerbahce from PSG. But in terms of Premier League, I think you'll see, I think Chelsea's probably done now. They've seen Nicholas Jackson come back from the loan after the injury to Liam Delap. Wasn't that a strange one? I tell you what, we laughed about that one yesterday, me and you.
Right, apparently he got off the plane. He didn't know. He touched down in Germany. Yeah. He gets a call, mate, go back.
That's how it happened, mate. Oh, you've got to go back. And then he's had to wait another 24 hours now to get the notice. And he's going to be moving. Well, he's flying to Senegal now for international duty and then back to Stamford Bridge. I tell you what, that is an absolute merry-go-round. I think Arsenal may look at another attacker, mate, maybe another left-sided player if something happens with Martinelli or another forward. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow for all the clubs. But I think outside of that, most clubs are pretty set. Liverpool are only going to look much, much stronger with these two signings coming in, which is a real worry because guys like Wirtz have not even started well. And I mean, he's going to come good eventually, I think. So when you couple that in, they're a formidable prospect. And outside of that, I think Spurs might look at something else. I mean, Simmons is a nice signing for them, but they'll be disappointed they missed out on some of their key targets. One of the other big ones I'll finish on, BB, even though there's more, is Yoane Wissa. He's desperate to get a move from Brentford up there to Newcastle. Released a lengthy statement yesterday saying he's going to go or wants to go, but they just can't seem to agree a fee. And Brentford have reiterated that he's not for sale. And they're in a bit of trouble as well to start the season. So that could be a tough one for him as well. So we'll need to see how that one plays out. But look, plenty there, mate. Which one excites you the most, BB? Which is the story that you want to see finalise our deadline day tomorrow?
Oh, look, it's not out of the box. It's not creative. I'd love to throw an out there one. Although I love watching Simmons. I haven't seen heaps of him in club footy. It's always international tournaments, but he always seems like such a really exciting player. But just the Isak, how it all plays out over the next day or two, it's just been the most intriguing storyline. And it's one of those ones where it's so big that it creates all these other, it's just a mushroom sort of effect. So what happens there, I'm almost every hour checking to see updates, what's happened, what's the latest.
Do you think he makes them better though, BB? Because Ekitike started really well, and I can see for them, I mean, we saw it last night, there's a bit of a lack of balance going forward. Never mind the result now, let's just put that all aside. There's a lack of balance for them going forward. They were much better defensively last night, which they've needed to be, but there is a lack of balance there. I thought Gakpo didn't come in as much off the left last night, maybe because Timber just defended him really well, but how does that work? Like, do they play a two up top? Like, where does Isaak fit? Because to me, it's a straight replacement for Ekitike, and I think it's extremely harsh on a guy that started so well.
I think that's going to be the talk, right? When he goes, Ekitike scored. We didn't score last night, but he scored 3 games in a row. His first 3 games for Liverpool, he's doing really well. That's immediately going to be, unless they play both of them. It's going to be, he's come in, he's messed up Newcastle, and he's just got this reputation. He's going to come in, is he going to do the same thing up front to Liverpool? That is just going to be the pressure already straight on. All right, I back him to score goals. If he scores goals, it's not a problem. Ekitike can say whatever he wants. But if he doesn't score in the first 2 games, if he doesn't get a lot of ball, if he's spraying them wide, then the pressure is just going to keep going up and up and up. So I don't think it's a clear-cut thing. I don't think it's going to be clean either. There's going to be teething issues for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know we've got to wrap up soon. So the thing we're going to end every show, a top 5. So I sent you the question last night, and I struggled with it. I don't know why. I was overthinking this. So your top 5 current footballers who don't play for Arsenal. Give me your top 5, Steve Peios.
Is this current or is this Premier League? I've done mine based on the Premier League, BB. Guys in the Premier League.
Global.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll throw the spanner in the works for you there.
Oh, that is a late spanner. Oh.
Do you want me to go first? Because you might need to rejig your top 5.
I need to add a couple in. So yes, you go first, mate. If you've got your world footballers, you go first, please.
I've got world, and to be fair, there's two Premier League footballers. All right, so I'm starting off, and I've mentioned him almost at length on this podcast before. Such a joy to watch when he is able to do what he does. Jack Grealish. I brought him into my Premier League fantasy team last week. Instant results. And of my top 5, he's probably the bloke I'd most love to go out and have a beer with. Probably 20 beers. So Jack Grealish, 5. Number 4, I've always liked this bloke ever since he burst onto the scene for Manchester United, which is also a bit of a dirty secret. But now that he's left Man United and he's gone to Barcelona, I can say it because I love Barcelona, one of my teams. Marcus Rashford. I love the bloke on and off the field. He does really good things. And yeah, especially the last couple of years at United, tough to see him his name was dragged through the mud a little bit up there and whatnot. So, but I've always been a staunch Marcus Rashford fan. Number 3, I've got to go for my Kiwi, Chris Wood. Goal-scoring machine in the Premier League. I saw he's something like 12 or 13 goals off matching Didier Drogba for Premier League goals. Go make that make sense. And shameless plug, I used to mark Chris Wood at high school. I used to play either a sort of a defensive midfield role or a right-sided wing-back. And he played for St. Paul's. I only played against him probably 2 or 3 times, but
wow, what a story.
If I had to mark him and he was on the left and I was on the right, mate, he was so quick, even back then. And I'm older than him. I'm a couple of years. He'd have been like 14 and I was 17 or something. But he was so fast, dude. I used to give him like 2 meters, let him turn, let him run, and just try and kick him on the way back. That's what I could do.
240 him off the pitch. Yeah.
Mate, just the shoulder and the knee into the thigh if I could. But even then, he's so quick and skillful that it didn't always come off. But so Chris Wood always, got a rep. Obviously, people don't know I'm from New Zealand originally. I've been living in Australia for about 17 years, but still rep the All Whites. Number 2 on my list, a bloke I've loved for years and years, which is strange because he plays for 2. Is at his best years for 2 teams that hate the teams that I go for. So I'm a Barca fan. I'm an Arsenal fan. He's played for Tottenham and he's played for Real Madrid, and especially at Real Madrid, caused so many troubles. That's Luka Modric. I love the bloke. One of my best mates is Croatian as well, so I've had a few good sort of nights watching Croatia at Euros and things like that with my good mate Veets, watching Luka Modric. Number 1 on my list, Leo Messi. Don't care where he's playing. If he's playing, he's my favourite. I love the bloke. That's my top 5. Steve Peios, I know I've thrown you a little bit of a spanner with the parameters of this top 5. But give me your top five. I think you might have to give me two lists here.
No, that's okay, mate. Look, I probably should have clarified with you last time, BB, or just confirmed. That's on me. But basically, I'll run through a top five of basically my favourite players at the moment. And if I've missed any, you'll have to forgive me. I can come back and check it all out next week, though, which would be nice. But basically, it's funny you mentioned one guy before, so number five for me, Chris Wood. I think he's done an absolutely unbelievable job, and this is more of a rep from sort of, Oceania football, AFC, our guys down under. I think he's been absolutely unbelievable. You're right. I think he's got 91 goals, and he's only, I think, 12 or 13 off the great Didier Drogba. So what an unbelievable achievement for him. I think he's been absolutely superb. And I think he's been a bastion. I have no doubt that the only man he couldn't score a goal against was yourself back at St. Paul's. But outside of that, he's now taking the Premier League by storm, mate. He's ripping past the Van Dijks and Gabriels of the world, and never mind the great BB there at high school over the ditch. Number four, a player that I absolutely love. I think he's one of the best in the world and doesn't get enough credit. Is Federico Valverde from Real Madrid. I think he's a superb player, the Uruguayan midfielder / right back / number 10 / he can play on the left, he can play anywhere. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. He's just a brilliant player. He's one that I've loved watching for. I must confess, I don't watch as much La Liga anymore as I used to, but anytime I've seen him, especially in Champions League football, I've always thought that he's absolutely superb. And someone that I've been a big fan of. So I wish him all the best moving forward, and I think he'll be absolutely fantastic. Number three for me, Erling Haaland from Manchester City. The reason is that he's got the mentality of what I can see in Gyökeres, but he just seems far better at it at the moment. So I'll give Gyökeres some time to sort of settle into the Premier League, but basically, Haaland is a mentality monster. We saw that poacher's finish in the game against Brighton last night, and whilst City are in real trouble at the moment, he would have to be their shining star at the moment. He's their sort of North Star at the moment, Erling Haaland. If they didn't have him, I'd really fear for, what a Manchester City team looks like going forward at the moment. He's just an absolutely superb player. Number two for me, and these are in no particular order, but I think they're sort of roughly in order. Number two for me, Serge Gnabry from Bayern Munich. He's one of the ones for me. He's the one that got away from Arsenal many, many years ago. I saw him live at Swansea in Wales back in 2012 or 2013 in a game that we won away from home in the Premier League. Gnabry scored the winner and was absolutely superb that day. I don't know what really happened at that time as well. He was playing a lot. He was part of the last Arsenal team that won at Anfield, I'm pretty sure, back around 2013 days. And we just never seemed to get him right or get him in a position where he could press forward and actually go ahead and win the game for us, or be viewed that he could be the guy that could actually take us to the next level. He's since gone on to Bayern Munich BB. He scored a stack of goals, won a million Bundesligas, won the Champions League, and he's a player that I love watching. In a similar mold to Leroy Sané, I thought they're just fantastic wingers. And Serge Gnabry is one I love watching as well. Number one for me, we're going to go with an Arsenal boy at the moment, Bukayo Saka. I think when he's on song and when he's sort of on the left, dropping his shoulder, coming in off the left, he's one of the best players in the world to watch right now. He's been our star boy and somebody that since the pandemic, BB gave us a massive time to just be happy about football because he was coming through as a left wing back at the time. But I'll never forget those games in front of absolutely no one. The stands were empty. And Saka was just ripping up down the left-hand side, and we'd really caught on to something. So he gave us a lot of hope over the last few years. So that's my sort of top five at the moment. My Premier League-centric one, BB, though, had a couple of honourable mentions for these guys. I love Antoine Semenyo in the Premier League at the moment for Bournemouth. He seems to be a player that's really taken the league by storm. Another guy that I love to watch, and because I saw him through the entire World Cup and just saw how purely effortless this guy was, is Alexis McAllister from Liverpool. I don't think he's up to match fitness, and he didn't have a great game last night, and he came off on about 60, I think it was. But he's a player that I watched in the World Cup nearly every game of Argentina. Luckily, I was there for that. And he's just effortless in the midfield. He just cruises. He just covers distance. He makes passes. He's got, I guess, a bit of Zubamendi about him, but better in the fact that he's a very big national team winner, and he's very good in his club team as well. He does a lot of dirty work, just beats quiet, gets it done. So I must say I'm a big fan of his as well. But that's a top five for me, mate. We'll talk about our next top five during the week, and I'll make sure I have it absolutely spot on and ready to go. But I love the idea of this to finish up our segments every week, mate.
anyone watching, and if you want a top five, drop them in the comments. I've got one for you next week. I won't say now, but I've got one specifically that I want from you, so we'll do it next week.
Excellent. Can't wait, mate. Beautiful.
And episode 4, we are flying. We're up and running. I wish we were talking about a win at Liverpool, but we'll figure out what to do next week. We don't have Arsenal playing, but we'll record early next week. We'll figure out what that is. Maybe we'll watch some international football. And maybe, have a look at some Arsenal players playing internationally. But Steve Peios, have a great week, mate. We'll do it again next week.
BB, you're a legend. Thanks very much, mate. See you again next week.